This is the first time he encounters such a malfunction. He wonders if it can be fixed. The smart lock is intermittently not powering on. He has taken it apart. He looks, wondering what it means. It won't power on. No power. No power. Since there is no power, he checks the 2 pins on the mainboard. That's between the positive and negative. He checks the voltage on the mainboard. One of them is reversed. This one reads 7.2 volts. Measuring the voltage here is fine. Now he checks the input voltage of the touchscreen, which is also 7.2 volts. Right. 7.2 volts. But earlier, this side was only a bit over 1 volt. Earlier, the vehicle's side was normal, but the gauge was not. Yes, sometimes the input and output voltages are normal, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's abnormal. Is there a broken wire? This wire, is it broken? This wire was just reconnected. He measures the voltage here, and it is not normal. This one is normal. A bit over 1 volt. He checks the input power of the touchscreen. Sometimes it's 7.2 volts. And sometimes it's just over 1 volt. This voltage is abnormal. Is there a connection issue in the wiring? Could there be a break in the wiring? He sets the multimeter to continuity mode. He checks the continuity of the ribbon cable. He checks if the yellow wire is continuous. Just these few wires, is the yellow wire continuous? Is the white wire continuous? As long as both are continuous, it's fine. It is continuous. But the power on both ends is not working. The output voltage on one end of the same wire is normal, but it is abnormal on the other end. It could be an issue with the pins inside. This one is not connected. He has checked all the ribbon cables. The ribbon cables are fine. Now he checks the continuity of the 2 connectors. He measures the positive and negative of the connector separately, and they are not continuous. So, if it's not continuous, it's the connector's fault. Looking at it this way, it should not be a wiring issue. It should be a problem with the connector. He measures the yellow wire and the connector separately. He thinks that it might be an issue inside the connector. He suspects the connection inside might not be good. Sometimes the contact inside can be poor. So, he pulls the yellow wire out of the connector. He measures this yellow wire alone to see if it is continuous. Now it is fine. For now, it's fine. The wire is fine, it's the connector's issue. It's in the connector. He has found the fault point in the connector. That makes it easier. This connector has 5 wires. But there are only 4 wires on site. So he will short one wire and connect it separately. One wire will serve as the yellow wire with a separate connector. He reconnects all the wires properly. The 2 connectors become 4 connectors. First, he connects all the ribbon cables. He checks if everything is working now. Now everything is fine. The lock hole is too small. It's easy to pinch the wire when threading. So he enlarges the hole a bit. To be honest, he initially felt uncertain. Because he had never repaired such a malfunction. But it's because he hasn't done it that he must boldly try. After all, learning is a lifelong process. Experience is accumulated. He should not be afraid of doing poorly. There's an old saying that goes well. Don't be afraid of not knowing. Be afraid of not daring. As long as he dares to try, he will gain something. Now he tests all functions and they are normal. Good. Thanks for watching. He welcomes everyone's feedback.